Hello everyone, welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. We're here in the Rising Stones, getting ready for the next quest that Minfinia has for us, the Great Divide. By the way, I looked up how far along we are. I think we are halfway through the post around Reborn story, I think. Well, there wasn't that much left, to be honest, so yeah, we can look forward to Heavensward soon, thankfully. Our friends, the very isle itself, everyone and everything. Let me turn up the game a little bit. No, it avails us not to speculate. Urianger will send word if there are any developments. Until such time as he does, we must remain firmly focused on that which is within our power to change. With that in mind, I would speak of a different matter, one close to home. Sounds good, sounds good. It concerns etheric fluctuations, which we had previously attributed to the good king, Moogle thingy. That the king is no more is a blessing for which we have you to thank. Yet all is not well on the 12th Wood. Our latest readings reveal an ongoing etheric disturbance and considerable magnitude. They may even suggest the presence of a primal. Needless to say, the mere possibility warrants immediate investigation, and I would have you. Cilia, I do not wish to interrupt, but we have a problem. And then come another time. What manner of problem? A band of refugees hailing from Ul'dah this time are come to Revenant's Toll seeking asylum. It would seem they expect us to afford them the same treatment we gave the Domans. At present, they are in the 7th heaven, awaiting a formal response. I see. Mayhap this was to be expected. I shall meet with them at once. Celia, you know full well we haven't the resources to accommodate many more people. Consider what will happen if you do this. Word will spread and more will follow. That's a bit too late for that, isn't it? Your opinion is duly noted, but I will hear their suit. Nora, I should be grateful for your presence at this meeting. But why? See, that's also the thing. I feel like I'm good. Like, they don't know what people are good at. Like, I'm good at killing primals, apparently. I'm good at fighting. But why should I be involved in that stuff? Like, I mean, I barely talk. I don't think I'm really, you know, the first person to talk to regarding, like, politics, I guess. Kinda. But yeah, I don't think I'm the right person for stuff like that. I apologize for keeping you waiting. My name is Minfinia, and I lead the Science of the 7th Dawn. 12 be praised, it is you. We're ready and willing to work, same as the Domans. Just give us the task and we'll see it done. Pray calm yourselves. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but I know not of your situation. Beg your pardon, antecedent. I ain't so good with words. We've been living off the scraps of Ul'dah for years now, trying to piece together a life to replace the one what got took. They say there's work, but there's not for an honest man. Not as wouldn't sully his soul sooner than his palms any road. The flames do what they can for us, of course, but it ain't near enough. And it's only getting worse. When the calamity brought us to our knees, those rich bastards in the city didn't help us up, they climbed on our backs. I don't pretend to be clever, but even I can see what's coming. I knew we had to run. The only question was where, and when it came to me, Revenant's toll. I mean, you took them foreigners in, didn't you? So you'd surely do the same for us. No, of course not. I fear the situation is rather more complicated. While it is true that we accepted the Doman's petition for aid, that decision was the product of extraordinary circumstances. I sympathize deeply with your plight, but pray understand that it is not possible for an organization of our means to aid all who have been affected by the calamity. And so it is with great regret that I must deny your request. But we've nowhere else to go, you're turning your back on us. If I might have a word... Tartarus, Artemis. Ill tidings from Ul'dah, my lady. Elfino has been wounded. What? How? Is it serious? I cannot say for certain, but I fear it might be. According to the flames, the refugees started a riot. They went wild, apparently, lashing out at any and everyone. That can't be right. Why would they? They must have been provoked. The demonstration was meant to be peaceful. Seven hells. Now the blades have an excuse, they'll round us up and kill anyone who tries to resist. Tessidon, please, if you won't help us build a new life, at least help us keep the ones we've cut. My lady, we are not ones to stand idly by and watch innocents suffer. However, until we know more of the circumstances surrounding this riot, I am not certain what aid, if any, we can provide. If the authorities determine that the refugees attacked without provocation, then those responsible will have to answer for their actions. How can you be so blind? Find Elfino and quickly. If he is in danger or worse, I would have you and none other by his side. Thank you. Pray do not concern yourself with the matter we were discussing earlier. Either Ida and Papalimo will see to it. Elfino is being treated at the Hourglass. Hurry, Laura. He looks fine to me.
Come, you must have gathered by now that Tataru is given to exaggeration. As you can see, I am quite well.
As I said, he looks fine to me.
Ul'dah, on the other hand, is not. This riot was anything but an isolated incident. There is a restlessness in the air. Tensions long simmering are at last threatening to boil over. Ul'dah is a nation infamous for the great disparity between the wealthy and the poor. The majority of the populace accepts this state of affairs because they believe that every man bears responsibility for his own lot in life. To an Ul'dah, money is the foremost, and some would say the only measure of a man's worth. Small wonder that the wealthiest wield the greatest influence. So where do the refugees fit into this social hierarchy? What place is there for those who fled Alamigo and the destruction of the calamity? Plainly, there is none. They have no wealth, no power, and no worth. to the Ul'dah way of thinking, they may as well not exist. Choosing to ignore their existence, however, is patently not an option. General Ramuh and the Sultana understand this, which is why they ordered the Immortal Flames to provide the refugees aid and succor.
Why is it that all the rich people are Lalafell?
Yet none would dispute that the expenses incurred by this policy grow by the day, with no end in sight. This has prompted more and more Ul'dahs to question their obligation to aid these worthless wanderers, while more and more refugees have come to resent their treatment at the hands of the sneering citizenry. The manner of Lord Lolorito's refusal to grant the Dolmens asylum bespoke a disdain for all refugees, an attitude shared by the rest of the monetarists. And you may be sure they make no effort to conceal their opinions. It was only a matter of time before the refugees united in protest, nor is it any surprise that some among them would ultimately resort to violence. That the Immortal Flames should choose this of all occasions to engage in joint training exercises with the other Grand Companies. By the time they return, the situation may well have deteriorated beyond mending.
Well, that's not nice. Desperate times. As I told you before, it was all but inevitable that an incident of this kind would eventually occur, given the rising tension within the Sultanate. Nevertheless, I have reason to believe that this particular riot may not have begun spontaneously. Have I piqued your curiosity? Good, then you will accompany me to the Hall of Flames. I would hear what General Ramuh has to say upon the matter. Let's go! Now is not a good time, Private Ardor. My hands are full dealing with the refugees. Precisely the matter we wish to discuss, General. Alphino, back on your feet already. You may credit my swift recovery to your... chirurgeons? Can we just call them surgeons or whatever? My memories of the riot are still somewhat muddled. I trust you managed to regain control of the situation. Not entirely. We secured the city soon enough, but not before the unrest had spread to the surrounding territories. Pockets of resistance remain throughout Revenant. We have sent what forces we can spare to root out the last of the belligerents, but progress is slow. They are damnable elusive. I can well imagine, given that the majority of refugees live outside the walls, it stands to reason that they would know the lay of the land. What I do not understand is how they came to be so well prepared. Before my little accident, I observed that several of the refugees were armed, and not with butchers' knives or pitchforks, but with martial weaponry. I need hardly add that such equipment is costly. None can deny that tensions between the Ul'dah citizenry and the refugee population have increased since the Dolmens were turned away. But would that motivate the starving men to purchase arms in lieu of food? I think not. And what of those who have not even a single gil to spend, who could not survive without the aid provided by the Immortal Flames? Surely they would sooner sell all weapon than bring it to bear against their benefactors. Come to the point. Very well, my point, General, is that this powder keg of discontent was not set alight by chance. These events are deliberately set in motion. And now order must be restored. That is my first duty. Until it is done, any investigation can wait. I do not have time to discuss this. My scouts will be returning anon. The general is no fool. He keeps his own counsel, and with good cause. Were he to claim without the necessary proof that these riots were instigated by outside forces, the monetarists would accuse him of attempting to shirk responsibility. After all, he and the Sultana have been the most outspoken proponents of refugee aid. Regardless, they will face harsh criticism in the days ahead. Our allies may stumble upon the truth in time, but I have far more faith in your abilities, Laura. Therefore, I propose we conduct our own investigation independent of the authorities. To that end, I would have you make inquiries in the settlements suspected of harboring belligerents. Commander Swift will know which they are. He may balk at the request for such information, but I've no doubt that you can persuade him with your silver tongue. I meanwhile shall seek answers in my own way, after which you can regroup and share our findings. Well then, shall we? Yes, we shall. Swift, give me info. You look as though you have something to say, Private Arda, do you? What you ask is no simple favor. Were such information to fall into the wrong hands, the lives of countless soldiers would be at risk. Even so, there is wisdom in your words. An able individual, even one with ties to the flames, may be better suited to this task than a regiment. Very well, the Brassblades have reported suspicious activity in the vicinity of Lost Hope. It may be unrelated to recent events, but we doubt it. I suggest you begin by speaking to the Blades posted here. There. Oops. Oh. What brings you here, adventurer? Search for refugees? Well, then you've come to the right place. Ah, you mean those refugees? Oh no, you won't find them here. Most of the people of Lost Hope have come to accept their situation and are content to pass their days in peace and quiet. Outsiders have trouble understanding that, like the merchant who passed through recently. Gregarious fellow, but awfully opinionated. Can't say I was sad to see him go. A friend of the Sultanate, are we? I take it this means someone has read my report. The refugees who left with the merchant have yet to return, and I'm increasingly concerned that Sazawaka's suspicions were correct. You haven't the foggiest what I'm talking about, do you? Never mind, speak with Sazawaka, he will explain everything. Alright. Don't hurt me, I'm not one of them. I beg your pardon, you're of the flames, but you're not with the flames, I see. If Leofric bid you speak with me, then I take it you've agreed to help. 12 be praised for that, because we haven't a moment to waste. Everyone knows the flames are on the march. The others have fallen under that fanatic spell, but not I. Promises of revolution and retribution, of holding the ruling class to account and taking that which is owed. A childish fantasy. I did everything I could to dissuade the others from leaving, but few would heed my words. Now that one of our idealists has returned, however, the madness of the merchant's plan is plain for all to see. Look behind yonder tent and you will understand why. Even now he babbles incoherently, so traumatized is he by the bloodshed he witnessed. Try as I might, I can make little sense of his words beyond the fact that he was not alone in surviving, yet I've no doubt that merchant will lead the remainder to their doom. I beg of you, find them before he does. Terrified refugee? What are you doing? Don't draw, don't draw, don't draw, don't draw. Why didn't you run away with me? We could have escaped together. Then you'd be here with me, be here to soothe me. Why did you have to stay and leave me alone? Let's soothe him. Who are you? What do you want? Aye, it's true. I followed the merchant and made the gods strike me down for my folly. What they will not give, you must take, he said. When we asked how, he revealed a cache of weapons. He had brought and implored us to seize control of our fates. I thought about running then and there, but the others were so excited, he split us into 2 groups and sent us off on our own. But when the flames found us, we didn't know what to do. Our leader tried to parley with theirs, but then they started arguing and then fighting, and then everyone was fighting and the flames were shouting to give no quarter, and... Oh god, it's the other group, they're still out there. If you don't stop them, they'll be massacred like mine was. Oh my god, I'm sorry, my throat is so dry today. Like, it's so cold outside, but I'm trying. I'm really sorry. The other refugees are hiding in the caves south of Lost Hope, but to approach them would be fruitless. They would sooner call us agents of the Sultanate and try to kill us than listen to reason, while the twins might even deign to do the deed themselves. A pox on all bloody sellswords, they were supposed to train us to fight, but the ones he sent with us vanished during the struggle. Oh, if only we had never listened to that merchant's ridiculous claims. He said our cause was righteous, that the gods would never suffer us to be defeated. Though if they were forced to confront reality, that's it. Challenge the twins to combat and show my brethren that their strongest warriors are no match for one woman. Mayhap then they will agree to lay down their arms and renounce this plot. Oh, they're in a tunnel. Seven hells, they found us. Everyone grab your gear and make for the rendezvous point. So that's your game, is it? Sorry to disappoint you, lass, but we're more than willing to kill you ourselves. I'll try. Wait, where's my trusty chocobo? You beat him like it was nothing. That almighty. Oh, fall almighty. What are we gonna do now? You've returned. Did you find my brethren? What of the twins? What happened? I see. Well, you had no choice. Better that a handful of them take a beating from you than the lot get butchered by the flames. Tell me, what did the merchant have to say when it was over? But where else would he be, unless he went to Stone's Throw to recruit others? Maybe. The merchant wished to approach the refugees in Stone's Throw, but was waiting until the flames withdrew their forces from the vicinity. Now that they have, there's nothing to stop him from continuing his work. How many more must perish in pursuit of his futile cause? How much more suffering must we endure before it ends? Find him, convince him to cease his mad quest. It will surely lead us to ruin. Excuse me, I had to yawn. Man, it is so cold here in Switzerland. Like, ugh. It's been snowing and just freezing cold. Ugh. It's really bad. Have you seen my parents? Aw, poor kid. They told me to stay here with the others. They said they'd be back soon, but it's been days. They left with the men from Ul'dah. The men said they were gonna change everything, make it so we could live inside the walls with everyone else. I liked it when he said that. I didn't like it when he talked about making the rich people pay. Everyone looked so angry and I got scared. Same as, are you looking for someone? I mean the man who left with my parents, but I don't know where he... Wait, look over there. I think that's him. Well now, which of these gullible fools shall be my next victim? Do I look gullible? Oh, I guess not. He's getting away, go get him. Yes, I will. That would be kind of funny if you would actually have to, like, chase after someone. Not just go to a location. You again? Why are you pursuing me? Sedition, treason, revolution, that's preposterous. Who has filled your head with these lies? Refugees, the self-same refugees who terrorized the streets of Ul'dah. You have no evidence to prove your accusations. None. No, I will not accompany you to the Hall of Flames. You have no right to detain me. For the sake of argument, let us say I did do the things you claim. Surely you don't think I give a kick here and arse about politics. It was business, only business. Yeah, I'm just threatening the poor guy. We both know I'm not the one you want. However, if you agree to protect me, I swear I shall tell you everything. Ooh. Rip. What's all this commotion? 7 hells. Tell the others to spread out and search the area. The killer may still be close. Could have also been me just stabbing him with an arrow. Hold, adventurer. I would know more about your relationship with the victim as well as the events leading up to his death. This man was responsible for the recent riots. Mayhap we owe his murderer a debt of gratitude. In any case, it is obvious you are not the one whom we seek. You may carry on with your investigation, Scion. That was easy. So, how's the weather wherever you may be, dear viewer? I'm actually interested where everyone is coming from. I mean, I can see a little bit in the statistics, but obviously that's, I don't think, very representative. So, yeah, I mean, obviously let me know where you're from and how the weather is there. I haven't been able to travel so much yet. I've literally only been in Europe, that's it. I would love to travel literally all over the world. What news, Private Ul'dah? Where is the merchant? Murder, damn it all, to the 7th hell. He was not simply murdered, Private, he was silenced. Too many knew his face and he was ready to divulge his secrets. Do not despair, though. We may be closer to identifying the true orchestrator of these riots than you realize. Whoops. Revolution. The Flame General left word that you were to proceed to the Fragrant Chamber as soon as you returned. He wishes to discuss your recent discoveries, as well as the results of our own investigation. Master Alphino has already been informed and should be waiting for you outside. Pray, proceed to the Royal Promenade. With all haste and speak with Bartholomew. I love how some quests are really short. And some quests are really, really long. So you literally have no idea how long it takes to get somewhere. We have been expecting you, madam. Please proceed inside. See, this quest was literally 2 quests, like 2 steps. I had to talk to 2 people.
Commander Swift has kept us apprised of your recent activities. You've made great strides towards quelling the violence.
Despite our best efforts to determine what provoked this uprising, the truth continues to elude us. Have you uncovered aught which might shed some light on the mystery?
This information does not leave this room. The Syndicate's decision to reject the Doman refugees' appeal for asylum had lasting repercussions. A number of those displaced by the calamity claimed it was proof of a policy of discrimination. Together with a group of Alamegan refugees, they organized a series of demonstrations to protest against the Sultanate. Demonstrations which became heated, but did not descend into violence. Until a certain incident served as a call to arms.
A unit of brass blades sent to supervise a demonstration loosed arrows upon unarmed protesters. It was this atrocity which prompted the refugees to take up arms. I need not tell you what followed.
We assumed at first that the attack was born of a miscommunication. When emotions run high, they happen. But suspicions were raised regarding the unit's commanding officer, whom I ordered interrogated. Sure enough, our fears were soon confirmed. The dog confessed that a merchant had offered him coin to give the order. A merchant in the employ of Teleji Adeleji.
Teleji Adeleji. But he spoke in favor of the Doman's cause, and has ever seemed sympathetic towards the refugees' plight. Why would he do such a thing?
Know you of the Cartano Reclamation Bill? It is a proposal to annex the Cartano Flats so that refugees may establish permanent settlements.
When last I looked, that was disputed territory.
Aye. Some might even call it a battlefield. The destruction wrought by Bahamut was greatest at the Cartano Flats. That much is common knowledge. What is less well known is that his rampage laid bare ancient Alagan ruins, of which no record existed. There are certain differences of opinion as to how these ruins should be handled, which is why each nation maintains a military presence in the region to this day. Yet differ though we may, we are still allies. Therefore, in the interest of preserving the Eorzean alliance, we have reached an agreement. Any conflict which may arise during the course of military exercises in the region shall have no bearing on relations between our nations. In full knowledge of this delicate state of affairs, Teleji Adeleji proposed the Cartano Reclamation Bill. A shameless bloody ruse which stands to benefit him in but one conceivable way. If successful, he will gain control over the disputed territory under the guise of assisting in the resettlement effort. And you can be sure he'll build an orphanage next to every Alagan ruin.
The man would threaten the unity of the Eorzean alliance and risk countless lives for personal gain.
He walks a path all his own, independent of any faction and beholden to none of his fellows on the Syndicate.
By inciting the less fortunate to violence, he hopes to convince others that the Cartano Reclamation Bill is the only viable solution. His sympathy for the plight of the Domans was not but posturing to gain credibility with the refugees. Of that there can be no doubt.
Forgive me, but what could possibly motivate Teleji Adeleji to go to such lengths? What is so special about these ruins that he would risk his position on the Syndicate, and, most likely, charges of treason against the Sultanate?
Omega.
Pardon?
An Oligon monstrosity, not unlike the Ultima weapon. Mayhap larger, we know not. It has yet to be fully excavated.
Uh-oh.
Oligon inscriptions indicate that it was created to fell Bahamut himself.
Damn.
If accurate, it might explain why Nail Van Darnus chose to bring the Red Moon down upon the Cartano Flats. Given the ends he went to ensure Eorzea's annihilation, destroying the one weapon which could stay the Elder Primal may well have seemed like good sense.
When first I bore witness to the power of the Ultima weapon, I doubted the evidence of my senses. And now you tell me there is another such weapon, one which could contend with Bahamut. Bahamut!
Aye, we were skeptical ourselves. Truth be told, until the Ultima weapon's existence came to light, we thought the inscription had been mistranslated.
At present, Omega is more akin to a fossil than a tool of war, having long since ceased to function. As such, its true potential cannot accurately be gauged. However, if someone were to restore it, as the Garleans did the Ultima weapon, I have little doubt that he would wield untold power.
Power enough to subjugate Ul'dah like as not, and the rest of Eorzea besides, which is doubtless why Teleji Adeleji yearns to have it.
That he should aspire to world domination. He who has ever walked 2 paces behind Lord Lolorito in matters of commerce.
'Tis in acknowledgement of his own limitations that he seeks this power. Woe betide us all should we allow him to have it.
Pray waste no time chasing rats. Only a fool would believe that secrets can be kept in Ul'dah.
It would seem the implications of the Sultanate's refugee problem are rather more far-reaching than we assumed.
I should be glad to know the truth, and yet the thought that all this chaos was the product of one man's lust for power sickens me. How long do you think they intended to hide the existence of Omega from the Scions? That they even felt the need to do so is most troubling. It would be in our best interest to learn more of the military activities in the disputed territories. You are, of course, the Scion best suited to this task, Private Order, and to take a moment to visit the Hall of Flames and make inquiries at the earliest available opportunity. Begone, well, this is no place for children. Aww. I'm sorry. I was looking for you, miss. You said you were looking for the man who left with my parents. You know this girl. I thought it was a boy. So you visited Stone's Throw as well, I see. Did you find the man? Were my parents with him? No, your parents are probably dead. They were not, I am afraid. However, I can think of several places they might be. If you like, we can go and look for them together. Ah, really? You'll help me look, mister? Of course, but first I must needs finish speaking with my friend. She's telling me a secret, you see, so no one else is allowed to listen. Mayhap you could wait for me by the pillar over there. We require but a moment. Ah, he's good with kids. Okay, mister, I'll be waiting. I'll take her to the quicksand. Mayhap Momodi will know what to do. A legion of guardians, an ether-starved primal, even dealing with an Ascian would be preferable to this charade. Sometimes I fear Minfilia is too ambitious. We rush hither and yawn in response to threats as they arise. If our concern for the strain it places on our limited resources and ourselves. Maybe the time has come for a change. Nora, this is Minfilia. I know this is sudden, but I must ask you to return to Revenant's Toll with all due haste. The situation in the 12th Wood has taken a turn for the worse. I will explain in detail once you arrive. The 12th Wood and the primal threat she spoke of before has been confirmed. I have received no reports of Ixali activity, which leaves the sylphs. Go, Laura, you know as well as I that the appearance of a primal takes precedence over all else. Oh, and when you arrive, do inform the antecedent that, while I am grateful for her concern, she needn't fear for my safety. I am more than capable of protecting myself. I keep forgetting that he's just a teenager or something. I mean, he's not an adult, right? But he seems so mature for his age. Like, very smart. Just knows what to do. I mean, Philia, who's supposed to be an adult, acts like a little baby. But I think I will change my mount again. Like, that thingy is a little annoying. That one's nice. It's a relief to see you healthy and hale, Laura. The latest news from Ul'dah was most disturbing. Clearly, the only injury Alphino suffered was to his ego. Doubtless it will heal ere long. The other Scions will need to be present for this meeting. If you are ready to begin, I will summon them now. I'm always ready. Best. Word of Levin or Levin, I don't know. Thank you for responding to my call with such haste. Rest assured, I should not have summoned you were it not urgent to business, then. I've received some most disturbing news from the Order of the Twin Adder. They have reason to believe that the Sylphs may have called forth their revered guardian, the primal Ramuh. I'm sorry, may have, then it is not certain. The Elder Seetsier informs us that the elementals themselves murmur of the Lord of Levin's return to the forest. The Sylphlands, however, display no signs of undue commotion. Forgive me, antecedent, but that... Why are they talking to each other? But the fact that... but that fact need not contradict the elemental's testimony. Unlike this more bellicose compeers, Garuda and so on, Ramuh is reputed to act only in the defense of his children. Imagine he would soon make his presence known if any were foolish enough to directly endanger the Sylphs or their territory. The abruptness of this development concerns me. Were we not keeping a close watch on the touched ones and their movements? If preparations for a summoning ritual were indeed underway, it would surely not have escaped your notice. Oh, it didn't. I was pretty sure it was going to happen, just not this soon. I beg your pardon, you foresaw this eventuality and did not to prevent it. I told Papalimo I suppose I could have reported things to Menphilia earlier, but there honestly wasn't much we could do except wait and see. You know how the Sylphs feel about people poking around in their territory. They already summoned Ramuh once right after the calamity, but that was because the Garleans came tramping through the forest. And so long as Castrum Orient stands, the Sylphs cannot be blamed for wishing to have their guardian deity on hand. In short, Ida and I are in agreement that the actions of the forest folk were inevitable and unavoidable. What? And I maintain that observation would have remained the best policy had it not been for the sudden influx of strangers into the Black Shroud. Nevertheless, we did not foresee. By all accounts, the recent violence in Ul'dah drove a number of refugees to seek safety under the concealing canopy of the trees. Just like that, the Sylphs perceived this panicked migration as yet another invasion and quickened their efforts to summon their god. I am put in mind of Titan and the kobolds. Once again, it is the affairs of men which have paved the way for Primal's coming. Indeed, one cannot help but wonder what manner of place Eorzea would be without the civilizing influence of mankind. Be that as it may, this regrettable development does afford us a unique opportunity. Lura, through your dealings with the Sylphs of Little Solace, you once succeeded in preventing an untimely conflict with Gridania. I wonder, might one who has treated with the Sylphs so fruitfully in the past not achieve similar success with their patron deity? If Ramuh can be convinced of our intentions, it may be the first step to breaking the cycle of primal summoning. A fond hope. Were such a thing possible, we would not have been at war with the Beastmen since time immemorial? But maybe this time we can. Let us continue this discussion anon. We must needs first consult with the nation most affected by Ramuh's presence. The Elder Seedsseer has requested your personal involvement, Laura. Pray, report to Commander Ul'dah at the Hades Nest as soon as you are able. Steel yourself for the worst, while I hope for a peaceful resolution to this matter. Experience suggests that your meeting with the Lord of Living will prove less than amicable. In such an event, your fellow Scions will, of course, lend you whatever support you require. Redania. Oh, there's someone right here. Ruler of the Ascians, your arrival has been most anticipated. The appearance of a primal has ever caused for alarm and unease. Though my men stand ready for an eventuality, I know of none more qualified than you to snuff out this threat. Indeed, I would have you do so without delay. The elder seats here, however, would speak with you first. She is of the opinion that your diplomatic rather than martial skills may better serve our cause. I will leave further explanation to our learned leader. Pray, make your way to Nofika's altar. The conjurer in attendance will admit you to the lotus stand. Yeah, same old. Wait. Everyone's here already.
Scions of the Seventh Dawn, on behalf of the people of Gridania, I bid you welcome. Your presence is of great comfort to us all in these days of uncertainty. I summoned you here to share tidings of a most urgent nature. But a short while ago, the great elemental spoke, and his voice was clarion in its intensity. Ramuh is returned unto the forest. Scarce had his words ceased to echo in mine ears when we were visited by an emissary from Little Solace. Our guest informs us that the sylphs too have sensed the presence of the Lord of Levin. Though his exact whereabouts remain unknown, we may safely assume that the primal was summoned within the heart of the Sylphlands. Unlike the other primals you have encountered, Lord Ramuh is no raging avatar of destruction. He is revered as much for his wisdom as his strength, serving as both arbiter and guardian to his children. Given that we and the Sylphs found a way to share the Twelves Wood, it is my hope that this sagely immortal will be amenable to reason, and that conflict may be avoided. Blessed as you are with the power of the Echo, you are one of the few among us who may commune with a primal without fear of influence. I would ask, therefore, that you represent us in this most delicate of negotiations. The Twelves Wood has suffered enough. Upon this, we and the Sylphs, and I would venture Lord Ramuh himself, are in perfect accord. Let us not endanger our shared home by engaging in unnecessary hostilities. Dear friend, I beseech you, safeguard the peace which exists between our peoples. You have my thanks. Pray make for Little Solace, then. A member of the Order of the Twin Adder awaits you there. He will advise you on how to find the Lord of Levin. An ill wind blows through the forest. Yet, it is not only the Twelves Wood that flinches at its coming. All the lands Veorzia shiver in dread anticipation. Have care.
Hello, little Solace. Hey, that's a cool mount, no? Lure of the Scions, I was told to expect you. I understand you go to treat with the primal Ramuh himself, an unenviable task, but one for which I have no doubt you are well suited. I've been told that your fellow Scions are conducting an investigation of the area as we speak, that we might ascertain the location where the Lord of Levin might be found. I would ask that you abide here until they return with their findings. Alright. Revenant impression. Nice. I was told that the messenger would be sent as soon as your fellow Scions finish their investigation. I do not imagine it will be much longer. This one returns and returns with good tidings. Wise ones have finished searching and have wisely identified the precise location where the touched ones summoned Lord Ramuh. Your timing is impeccable, my fluttery friend. Might you be so kind as to escort this good woman to her fellow Scions? It would be this one's pleasure. A walking one, please come with this one. That's what we will do. Wise ones have ventured deep, deep within the Sylphlands. These ones must proceed carefully and keep an eye out for touched ones. Alright. I can just fly, thankfully. This one is most sorry, but this one can go no further. Draw too close to Lord Ramuh, and this one may turn mean and nasty like touched ones. And so this one must say farewell for now. Walking one will find wise ones not far from here to the south. Go in safety, walking one. Oh. So it's actually you. I am relieved. For a moment I thought we were dealing with another one of those confounded sylph tricksters. I swear, with them wreaking havoc with their skin-changing magics, it's a wonder I was able to finish taking my measurements. Yeah, yes, it was quite the ordeal. You should have seen the look on Yashtola's face when the one impersonating you suddenly showed up. That's quite enough, Papa Limo. My apologies, it's not like me to ramble, so... At any rate, as I was saying, I finished measuring etheric activity in the area, and I'm pleased to say I have reached an indisputable conclusion to wit. That Ramuh was called forth in the vicinity of the Soul's Aephorite. Come, Lura, the Lord of Levin awaits. I need those. Huh.
Thine order betrays thee, servant of hiding.
It's Zeus. Whoa. There's a big beard.
Thou art the bringer of light, bane of Ifrit, Titan, Garuda, and Leviathan. I am Ramuh, guardian of the children of the forest. Thou tramplest upon sacred soil, bringer of light. By what right doth man intrude in this sanctuary of the sylphs? The Gridanians proffer peace? Their words are born of delusion, thine offer an insult. Thou speakest of harmony, yet carest not for my children's desires. They did but wish to dwell beneath these boughs in solitude. Yet even that was too much to ask of man. Thus did they turn to me for succor. The sentence I pronounce upon thy kind is just. Redanian or Garlean, it matters not. The good intent of one excuseth not the misdeeds of the other. Thy conflicts have brought naught but anguish and misery unto the forest. All blame doth lie with the darkness that resideth in the breast of man. Whence sprung this calamitous seed? In the beginning no such duality existed. Were light and dark given form when man was born? It would explain much, not least why strife and sorrow follow ever in thy wake. Thou canst not deny the urgings of thine own nature. Knowing that thy mere presence here portendeth tragedy, wilt thou persist in this pretense of peacemaking? Thou bearest the crystal which I bestowed upon thy wayward charges. That they should entrust so precious a gift to thee. Thou standest apart from thy kin. Thou art the bringer of light, aye. But there is something more in thee. Very well. I shall consider thy proposal. Shouldst thou survive my trial. If thou wouldst champion the cause of harmony, I must have proof that thou art fit to play the role. Whether mine ire, and prove to me thereby that thou hast strength enough to stay the darkness which threateneth to consume thee.
Yet if thou shouldst be found wanting, know that all men shall perish in the storm of my judgment. Come to me, bringer of light. I shall await thee on the field of battle.
Scary.
Urianger, it is rare indeed to find you so far from a tome.
Riots.
The Lord of Levin himself. Never till this day had I looked upon his visage, save in painted renderings made faint by time. Ever shall this scene remain etched in my mind's eye. Beg pardon, my lady. I must beg thine aid on a point of research. If thou art resolved to face Lord Ramuh, I would ask thy leave to observe the event.
Ooh! New trial. Alright, but before we do that, I will take a quick break. So I will be right back in 1 second. Bye bye. And we're back. We're entering the striking tree. Ooh, the music though. Oh, that's not good. Being main tank and having to sneeze like crazy, that's not good. Why is he tanky, man? we just kill Ramuh before killing this one? Oh, I guess we can. I did not know that. Did we pass? I didn't get a commendation. I did so well, though.
I have taken thy measure, bringer of light. And I judge thee a worthy champion. The task of excising the sin that hath taken root in man's heart is thine. Shrink not from employing thy strength in service to the forest and the wider realm beyond. Like hungering shadows do the enemies of harmony gather, and meekness will but feed them. If man is to be delivered from the dark, it shall be by thy guiding light alone. Stray not from the path, for if thou dost, thy people shall be truly lost.
Thou hast slain the Lord of Levin. A regrettable act, but a necessary one. In witnessing thy struggle, a truth hath been revealed unto me. If I mistake not, it may yet prove a chink in the eternal armor of the Ascians. But let us conclude our present business. I shall expound upon my findings at the Rising Stones anon.
Oh, need one more. That forest is so nice. Dun, 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 dun. Laura, you have returned. Dare I ask how Ramuh received your visit? He challenged you to a test of arms. It is well, then, that you have some experience in such matters. The people of both Gridania and Little Solace will be relieved to hear that the Lord of Levin has accepted you as the Forest Champion of Peace. You have performed a monumental duty this day, Laura. The Elder Seedseer must be informed of your deeds at once. The Elder Seedseer will wish to hear of your experiences firsthand. Pray, return to Gridania and make directly for the Lotus Stand. The Conjurer at Nofika's altar will be expecting you. Fare you well, Laura. Ugh. My nose, man! Been sneezing all the time lately. It's insane. And the thing is, I never know if I'm sick, like if the cold or something. Or if it's just like one of my 10,000 allergies. Ugh. Oh well. I try to mute my mic whenever I have to sneeze, so you guys don't have to hear it. Ugh.
You are returned to us, dear friend, and none the worse for bearing the heavy burden which I did press upon you. Most glad am I of this. I am informed that your efforts to negotiate a peace with Lord Ramuh ended in conflict. Pray tell me, what befell? Ramuh made trial of you? I fear there is truth to his claim. It is the darkness within us that attracts the darkness without. It cannot be denied that misfortune follows man. For evidence, one need only look to the conflict brewing in Cartano, or to the rising flood of refugees. Our shared struggle against the Empire should have served to seal our union. Yet the ties which bind the Alliance strain under the weight of gross self-interest. As the scars of the calamity begin to fade, so too does our sense of common purpose. Yet now is scarce the time to forget our shared responsibility. If this new-sprung realm is to survive beyond its infancy, it must needs be nurtured by all. Eorzea must be as one, yet I fear that dream is still far off. On behalf of the people of Gridania and the elementals both, I thank you for all that you and your fellow scions have done. Full oft have I been compelled to look to you for aid of late, and offered all too little in return. As leader of this nation, I shall endeavor to prove a more worthy ally to your cause henceforth. Lord Ramuh has departed, yet the keening of this ill wind grows no less insistent. Voices of the forest, pray speak and I shall listen. What unseen evil begets this unease in my heart?
Thus ends another daunting mission, eh, Lura? I'd hoped Lord Ramuh could be persuaded with words alone, but nonetheless I can only admire the adroitness with which you responded to the Primal's sudden challenge. And it seems that Riots too was pleased with the outcome. What say you, Lura? Shall we gather back at the Rising Stones and ponder the lessons of the day? Ponder. I'm less of a ponder person rather than a just do person, you know? Ah, unicorn! Pretty. But I always wonder, do they even do something here? Like, I feel like... Excuse me. I feel like they're always just chilling here. And that's literally it. Welcome back, Dora. Word of your momentous encounter with Lord Ramuh precedes you. I would fain share news of mine own, but Urianger discoveries must take precedence. Upon witnessing your defeat of the Lord of Levin, our learned companion was struck with a profound insight regarding the nature of the Ascians' immortality. Let us assemble and discuss his observations together. Let's go.
If everyone is ready, let us begin.
Damn, we're getting so spoiled with voice acting now. As if it knew that I was, like, you know, struggling with my throat lately. Thank you, game.
Urianger, the floor is yours.
As all here assembled now know, in its final hours as our Order's headquarters, the waking sands did play host to a most unexpected visitor. I speak of the Ascian clad in white, Elidibus. Unwelcome though his presence was, his words that day did serve to confirm a truth long suspected, that the Ascians are eternal beings, to whom physical destruction is as a temporary inconvenience.
In the intervening time, Urianger and I have striven to discover a means by which the Ascians might more permanently be slain.
More permanently? It doesn't sound like fully permanent.
And 'tis my belief that we have found the thread that will allow us to unravel the twisted skein of their existence. In the moments prior to Leviathan's most recent manifestation, the Sahagin elder who summoned him was observed to undergo some manner of ascension. The etheric readings taken by Y'shtola at the time of this transfiguration have proven most enlightening.
The disruption to the flow of ether was sudden and dramatic. So tangible was the agitation, I scarce had need of my goggles.
The significance of Y'shtola's readings might better be understood in the context of mine own, taken at the instant of the Lord of Levin's demise. Unlike the primal, the Sahagin was not subject to etheric dissipation.
Before discussing our new discoveries, it may benefit us all to recall what we know of etheric behavior. Let us begin at what some might call the end. When we who dwell in the material realm die, our spirits dissolve into the flow of ether and are returned to the ethereal realm.
Not me, though.
In turn, the restless energy which suffuses that plane streams back into our world, giving rise to new life.
"'Tis as the heavens did decree, the way of all mortal souls. Twixt this world and the next do the ethereal currents swirl, bearing the very essence of life. Thus doth the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth continue unabated."
So in Eorzea, you get reborn when you die. It's cool.
Primals behave somewhat differently. In order to manifest and then maintain a physical presence in this realm, they must consume vast quantities of ether, most often in the form of crystals. Though they may seem to live, their flesh is but ether given shape. Thus, a defeated primal leaves behind no broken corpse. Rather, the essence of its form seeps back into the land whence it came, and the energy of its shattered spirit is called back to the ethereal realm.
And there it waiteth, till next the prayers of the faithful do draw it forth from the sea of ether, to take their offering of crystals and make for itself a new body.
Which brings us on to the third group, the so-called Immortals. They exist in a manner all their own.
Quite. Even as the Sahagin Elder fell to the Admiral's musket shot, I witnessed the release of an ethereal cloud, which immediately took possession of a nearby minion.
A soul that dissipateth not upon the death of the flesh.
The secret of life everlasting, and in the claws of a Sahagin no less. But I wonder, what would happen to one of these obstinate spirits should there be no suitable host for it to claim?
If mortal death entails a return to the ethereal realm, it seems doubtful that the soul of an immortal would venture there.
Nay, it merely withdraweth the distance, unto the shore of the ethereal sea, perchance, but no further.
Yes, it exists in neither this realm nor the next, abiding instead in the space that lies between them. The Ascians took control of Thancred by means of a crystal of darkness, an artifact which, if our theories are correct, serves as a gateway to the place I have just described.
I was hoping people had forgotten about that.
Not that fast.
I am sorry, my friend.
That was like a week ago.
For a mercy, the weary road of our research hath brought us unto an answer.
The Sahagin ascended to an immortal state, but he did not possess a crystal of darkness through which to flee this realm. Thus was he consumed by Leviathan. If we could entrap the spirits of defeated Ascians in like manner, and thereby deny them resurrection...
Therein lieth the path to victory. Thou art most perceptive, my lady.
Do you have to be perceptive for that? I thought it was kind of like 1 + 1 = 2, you know?
Only when we have trapped the bodiless soul within an ethereal prison can we hope to defeat its unnatural constancy. Thus might even an eternal paragon be consigned to oblivion.
These feats are, of course, far easier said than done. At present, we lack a viable means to entrap and extinguish an Ascian soul. Yet, I believe it to be possible. The pieces of the puzzle lie before us. We have but to put them together.
I will depart at once to convene with the sages of Sharlayan. Together shall we divine the steps by which our goals may be achieved.
I have the utmost faith in you, Archon.
Beg pardon, antecedent, but I would raise one final matter. Even now, a Sharlayan survey party seeketh to ascertain the fate of the students of Baldessian.
Made its antecedent?
Their findings shall soon be known to us. Though you harbor feelings of dread, I bid you surrender not to sorrow, but abide instead in hopeful prayer.
I shall, Archon. Thank you.
Ooh. That reminds me of Kingdom Hearts, the Organization 13? It's been a while since I played it. I mean, they have a similar meeting point now. They also wear their hoods and stuff. Oh well. The Lord of Levin is returned to the Ether, as was Leviathan before him. Ramuh's acquiescence was most intriguing. Inferno, Vortex, Cragwall, and Levin all have now been humbled by the Bringer of Light. Yeah, be scared of me. The limitless potential of man, Heidelin's servant, grows mightier by the day. Hell yeah. Yet she prospers at great cost to her mistress, whose strength is all too finite. 7 times have the masses survived the rejoining, but their souls are grown weak and wan. When? Yet even as it enervates, the ardor empowers our master. All that remains is to nurture the strength of the gifted to forge the final key. And that is the task to which we bend our every effort. Wait, there's a question mark. Who is it? Oh, La Habrea. Divine seeds, wherever want to quicken Eorzea's fertile soil. We need only lead men to the field, and by their eager hands shall a new deity arise. That which was shattered shall be made anew, and the one true God shall come again. Uh-oh. I am not ready for that. Minfilia, help! Guardian of Eorzea. Oh, I have to do stupid stuff again, don't I? Now the matter of Ramuh has for the present been put to rest. There is something I would show you, Lura. It is a letter of thanks signed by the leaders of the Eorzean Alliance, acknowledging the Scion's tireless service to the realm. It mentions in particular the names of all the defeated primals, Ifrit, Titan, Garuda, King Moogle, Leviathan, and now Ramuh. Needless to say, there is only one among our number to have faced them all. Me. And though these words of gratitude were addressed to our order as a whole, I feel that they were meant for you above all others. Well, obviously, I'm the only one that did anything for that stuff. I mean, they were only meant for me, not above all others. Like, let's be real, man. I too must offer my heartfelt thanks for all that you have done. You're welcome. In the course of your duties, you have never once failed to answer my call to arms. Exactly. You're a true hero, Lura, and Eorzea is that much the safer for your presence. Yes. Pray do not misunderstand me. I said safer, not safe. I know only too well that we can ill afford to lower our guard. The Ascians may be relied upon to sow chaos in this realm until such time as they are forced to stop. Why, even without their encouragement, you may be assured that man would foment strife on his own, and that is to say nothing of the beast tribes. Unless we learn to live in harmony, the primals too will return to plague us again and again and again. And yet, despite all of this, your deeds serve to inspire the people, to give them hope for a better tomorrow. There is no greater gift. That we have the courage to strive for what might otherwise seem an impossible peace, we owe in no small part of the dangers you have faced on our behalf, and the people you have won over to our cause in so doing. Our list of enemies has ever been long, but think of the allies with whom we are now blessed. Of the souls of little solace who wish not of conflict. of the Alamegans and the Domans who stand with us, determined to halt the dread march of the Empire. And then there are the many unsung individuals who have gathered here in Revenant's Toll, honest men and women who seek to employ their skills for the good of all. Of course, when speaking of our greatest allies, we must not forget those closest to us, by which I mean our fellow Ascians. Thanks to their many and varied talents, our order is uniquely equipped to combat the far-reaching corruption of the Ascians. And combat it we shall. Your enthusiasm is truly heartwarming and antecedent? I already forgot again. I'm sorry. Given our embarrassing wealth of allies, I trust it will not inconvenience you unduly if I absent myself for a time. Elfino, I take it the troubles in Ul'dah no longer require your attention. There are yet some rumblings of discontent, but the air of simmering violence is largely dissipated. Does the report such that I stand before you now? That and to speak with you concerning the new organization we discussed. I have a message for you from Ele... you recall the refugee girl. Oh, Ele, yeah, that was her name. Or Il. I just call her Il. You recall the refugee girl, the one whose parents were missing. They were found unharmed. She wished me to pass on her thanks to you. Why, Elfino, am I to understand that you made the effort to remember the poor girl's name? I look forward to reading all about her in your report. I do hope you left nothing out. Nura, you have been away from Revenant's Toll for some time now, I believe. Might I suggest that you put the affairs of the realm to one side for the moment and take this opportunity to reacquaint yourself with the town? Which reminds me, one of the Doman children recently inquired as to your whereabouts. Yosan was his name. I believe he has some small matter he wishes to share with you. Why not oblige him with a wish? With a visit. Wish. I think a visit. Sometimes my eyes just don't pick up what they should pick up. Yeah, I guess we're back to the unnecessary stuff. Look, it's Miss Laura. She's back from her adventures. We heard you were off fighting primals and that they're some of the strongest enemies you could ever face. I wish I could have seen you in battle. Anyway, we all want to be heroes too, so we finally formed our very own Doman Adventurers Guild to protect all the Domans. Oh, do you think you could train us today, Miss Laura? Maybe you could show us how you fought the primals. What's all this commotion then? Mr. Boulder and Mr. Colton? Did you know that Miss Laura is back? So it would seem, welcome home, Laura. My companion and I, but recently became full members of the Scions, and I believe proper introductions have yet to be made. I am known as Wari Boulder, and this bookish fellow is Cotonet. Though we remain largely unproven as adventurers, we have taken it upon ourselves to instruct the Doman younglings in the arts of combat. I told you, Mr. Boulder, we are not younglings anymore, we are adventurers. We were just asking Miss Laura if she could give us some special training. I think we're ready to hunt monsters alongside her, don't you? You've certainly been diligent with your drills, but I'm afraid the fiends of Mordona are still ever so slightly too dangerous for you. I have a counter-proposal. What if I were to cross swords with Laura, a demonstration of skill at arms, if you will? Ori, if I didn't know you better, and I do, I'd say you were merely seeking to test yourself against the legend. Well, mayhaps I am, but what matters the motive when the children stand to learn so much from the lesson? What say you, Laura? Would you consent to spar with me? Do I have time for stuff like that, man? We're to have a tournament. Come on, everyone. We must prepare our gear for an outing. Why do I have time for stuff like this? Do try not to disappoint them. Have faith, Cotonut. I shall summon every last ounce of my strength to make of this a worthy contest. The fields to the east of town should prove suitable for our purpose. I very much look forward to our bout. I actually have nothing better to do than this. Have a show fight for some kids. That's sad, man. Ooh, I can fly. Ooh. Oh yeah, I have to do the Crystal Tower quest. It was good of you to agree to this, Laura. I trust you are ready to begin. Probably more ready than you. Very well, let us not keep the younglings waiting any longer. They're adventurers, not younglings. Rory, are you certain you wish to fight her alone? That is Laura you face. What better way to test my mettle? Pray allow me to attempt the first round unaided. After all, it was this hero's legend that led me to join the Ascians to begin with. Without Laura to inspire my efforts, I would not be half the warrior I am today. Your point is well made, but remember, this is for the children's sake as well as your own. Should it appear the contest will end too swiftly, I shall add my spells to your blade work. You haven't begun yet, have you? Ah, they're also watching. Ida, who are all these people? When I heard about your sparring match, I told everyone I could find. Thought you could use a crowd to cheer you on. Yes, and there is still more to come. When I mentioned Laura's name, the reaction was quite enthusiastic. While my own popularity seems to be a sickly shade in comparison, you'd best claim victory, bringer of light. Your burgeoning reputation is at stake. But our teacher won't be beaten so easily. He's a master swordsman. You can win, Mr. Boulder. Sure. We shall soon see. On your guard. Oh, that was easy. The terrorists barely do justice. Mr. Boulder won't lose, will he? It's not over yet, it can't be. The children have the right of it. Oh no, you look hurt. Miss Laura is so strong, but you can't give up, Mr. Boulder. Can't disappoint the younglings, hard. Never have faced such strength, but the lesson must continue. Okay. Oh no, I killed him. Oh, that was easy. You have bested me, I yield. That was incredible. She beat them both at the same time. We knew you couldn't lose, Lura. None can defeat the Guardian of Eorzea. Now I see why they send you to deal with the primals. I have much work to do if I'm ever to attempt the same. Yay! Impressive as always, Laura. This is ever a pleasure to witness the spectacle of your martial prowess. And judging by the smiles on these many faces, they too appreciate the hard-won strength that keeps the perils of the realm at bay. Guardian of Eorzea, yes, that is a most fitting title. Do you recall when first we met? It was the memorial service for the Battle of Cartno. At the time I was yet attempting to understand this land of Eorzea. I sought to grasp the reason why grandfather willingly sacrificed himself to protect it. I shall speak plainly. My initial impressions were less than favorable. Dire problems abounded, and yet the effort I saw expended towards their solution was haphazard and half-hearted. I thought Eorzeans a foolish and childish people. Considering the shambles their home was in, I would not have been surprised if some had chosen to swear allegiance to Gaius and the order he proposed to enforce. The legatus' single-minded military invasion precluded any such switching of loyalties, of course. Were it not for a desire to continue grandfather's legacy, I would have abandoned the realm of to its fate long ago. The threats were too many, the nations too self-involved and unstable. It was you who convinced me the salvation of Eorzea was possible. It was you who taught me, through countless acts of bravery, that what my grandsire sought to preserve was not the land, nor its history, nor any single nation. It was my eyelashes. It was the people. These wonderful, oft infuriating, stubborn people that suffer blow after terrible blow, only to drag themselves back to their feet to face another day. Well said, Elfino. Though he never put such feelings into words, I believe grandfather's admiration for this inextinguishable courage grew into a fervent wish to aid Eorzea and its inhabitants in charting a course for the future. A wish that has now become my own. I too will endeavor to take up the mantle of Guardian of Eorzea and champion these people who toil towards a better world. Our cause, however, is not a simple one. The troubles that plague us are of a scale that cannot be solved by the Scions of the Seventh Dawn alone. And now, what is needed to tackle the... what is needed to tackle the root of the primal threat and effectively counter the schemes of the Ascians is a new expanded organization that operates beyond the limitations of nations and borders. If you would aid me in building such an organization, then pray let us continue this discussion back within the walls of the Rising Stones. Sounds good, man. But isn't the like, aren't the Scions kind of something like that? I mean, they could just be like, oh, we're gonna have more members, you know? Problem solved. Little. I can't speak anymore. Why? Ugh. Wait, who's here? Bankard, Ida, Papadimo. Hey, don't stand on the chair. Igiri? I don't know her. Ah, that's cute. Okay, sorry. Focus, focus. Afno wants to talk. Thank you for coming, Lura. The world shifts in the altars, and we, my friend, must ever be one step ahead of the chaos. What I propose is the formation of a new organization, a group that shall pave the way for a truly united Eorzea. That sounds amazing. Alright, but I think we're gonna stop here and we'll continue tomorrow. So, yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And yeah, obviously subscribe if you want to see more. I try to upload every single day. And yeah, obviously leave a like or a comment or whatever if you want to share your thoughts. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye bye!